Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you are in the world. You're here on the Radio Works World platform with your host, Sabrina Ben Salmi. And today, I'm with a very special guest, the person, the creator, the dreamer, the visionary behind this Radio Works platform. Um, I don't know what to say to introduce this miraculous woman. I've recently met Marina via Cheryl Chapman, and I must say that it feels like every time I speak to Marina, I get to know a little bit more, and it feels as if I don't know her again. So welcome to the show, Marina Nani. Thank you so much for joining us, and it's an absolute honor to interview you.
Wow, Sabrina, I think long ago I seen a movie called Who's Talking. So in many ways, people who dream big, they allow themselves to become their own dream, where other people are just thinking, I could try, and then they're left behind. So dreaming big is not a metaphor. Dreaming big is a way of life, and is a way of turning challenges into opportunities, turning yourself into the opportunity you seek. Because you see, when you dream big, it's almost like there is so much room that everybody could join, and there is room for everyone, and everybody would benefit. When you dream small, or you just dream something in terms of I just want to pay my mortgage this month or each month, or it's just I want a new car or a new dress or a new pair of shoes, is something that doesn't really classify in my own books as a dream. a, a real dream is the one you dream while you are awake. A real dream is the one you could share with absolutely everyone, who could have the gather the energy and the courage to dare, because dream is about daring. Dreaming is means daring to me.
I like that. I like that definition. I really do. I think for those, I want to share this, record this interview with people that I know that haven't necessarily met you before. Could you explain what works mean? I love it, but I think I won't do it any justice. And I think it's nice coming from you. You're the visionary behind this. Could you explain Radio Works and the actual word works? Because obviously it's an abbreviation. It's not just a word.
I believe in the power of words, and I think they give you the strength to take the next step, regardless what other people are advising you. So I always thought that I'm in love with words, and they love me back simply because I love them so much. But then I realized that certain words work better than others. So then I realized that verbs, for example, work better than nouns. And I love the energy behind. And originally, I was thinking I had another program called W.O.R.K.S. So the word that changed the way you look at yourself. This was all behind your ability to learn your true worth, because many times you go through all these courses, universities, grades, everything that life throws at you, and you gain all of them because they expected of you to get that degree and that certification, and you move along thinking I'm doing something to please others. But actually, what at the end of the road, because there is an end of the road, which I reached personally, you realize that you know nothing. You know everything about everything else, but you know nothing about yourself. And being an ignorant when it comes to who you are, what are you made of, is what. So if you want to be an ignorant of who you are, and you want to know everything about everything else, you will be stuck in a place which is not necessarily a dark place or a good place or a bad place, but it's not your place. Your place is to know who you are. Your place is to learn what are you made of. Your place is to actually understand your own powers and share it. This is why I call your genius, my genius, our listener genius, Stardust, because this is something so unique to each one of us that will never, absolutely never be shared again. So the acronym WORK stands for 5 beautiful words than nouns, but the acronym itself is a verb, and it's been inspired by a friend of mine years ago, because I was so obsessed by words and the power of words, and he said to me, "Why don't you call it works?" And I did. So I'm very grateful. We are not connected anymore, but wherever he is, I wish him the best of everything, because with only one hint of genius, he made me understand who I am and what I'm about. And I do the same, paying forward. There are people with me with huge problems. They think it's a challenge. I think, okay, let's turn it around. Let's turn it into an opportunity. Let's help you become the opportunity you seek. So work stands for wealth. So wealth, knowing the power of words, knowing your own powers, knowing your own weaknesses and strengths, which together they could put into the the vault of your dreams so much richness, so much abundance that will never look back. Because being wealthy is different than being rich. Rich people, they all have only one purpose: to spend the money other people made for them, or they inherited, or they made it themselves. But wealth is very different. Wealth is something that nobody could take away from you. Wealth is that place inside yourself, which is like a spring or like Niagara falls. So you are keep taking and giving, taking and giving, and it's growing. There is no limit. This is how I feel most of the time. And of course, I have days when I don't, um, I feel exhausted, but in a good way. And I know that in those times, the universe is upgrading me, because I'm so wealthy, and the universe wants me to become more resourceful. The universe wants me to pin me down a little bit, stay calm and still, and understand better who I am and what can I give, who can I help, what is that I could do next, what is the next move I have to take in order to reach out to more people. So W stands for wealth through the power of words, because you can change your circumstances or you cannot change them. Most people cannot change their circumstances. They feel trapped. They feel in a dark place. They feel they are crawling instead of walking, let alone running. So what's happening in that moment, you have to accept you still have your inner light. You still could be guided by yourself. You could still use the power of your words, because challenges are made by um, other humans, for humans, to make you greater, to make you better, to make you smarter, to make you who you never thought you could be. And I'm so grateful for all the challenges that I ever embraced, because I always embrace challenges. And I feel that wealth is a state of joy. Wealth is a place where you once you get there, you never look back. You could never feel poor again. And poverty is like the Holocaust. Once you experience poverty, you never want it again in your life. So by changing your circumstances is not necessarily how you come out from the dark place, or you feel pinned down, or you feel um, imprisoned. But if you just for a moment change the words you are using when you are telling yourself a story about yourself when nobody's listening, if you change the words to your narrative, everything changes. And actually, what's happening, absolutely everything is fresh. You start looking at yourself with a fresh pair of eyes. You start looking at yourself as if you are alive. You are not dead. You are not your worst enemy. You are not the best failure all times. You are not a mediocre person, because at the end of the day, failure doesn't exist. It's just an excuse and a great chance to do it again and make it better and change it for the good. So mediocrity again is just an artificial concept. there is no mediocrity. It's just an excuse when you are thinking, I can't be as great as Sabrina is. I can't be as great as um, Cheryl is because I'm mediocre. And actually, that's an excuse that is not acceptable.
Exactly. Yes, very true.
And then O stands for opportunities. And what I mean by that is not only that every single challenge you encounter is the biggest opportunity you ever had, is that you become the opportunity you seek. So the solution you find for your own struggles, you turn that into a formula which is transferable to other people, and their life is going to be better. They don't need to struggle the same way you did. Maybe they will have other struggles, so they will find other solutions, but they do not need to go through the same painful process you've been. So offering that into the world, bringing that into the world, makes you the opportunity you seek, and makes people standing better chances to better themselves, to focus on the right things instead of keep worrying about the same struggles, the same. So it's almost like becoming the opportunity you seek allows the world to make progress. So I know that there are relationships you form in your lifetime, but the only one relationship that is going to define everything else and everybody else in your life is the relationship you have with yourself. How do you treat yourself? How do you look at yourself? When you look into the mirror, what do you see? Do you see somebody who you hate, or you see somebody who you love? Or what is that you see when you think of yourself? What is that real story you tell yourself about yourself? I'm a loser, I'm terrible, I'm a failure. Or you are telling yourself, you know what, I done something today. I managed to walk out, leave the house behind, go out there into the world and meet people, smile. Simple things. Doesn't need to be an invention, or you don't need to fly to the moon to feel you are part of this universe, because you are. Every single little leaves. I do take walks, and I know in America people thought I'm not altogether, because they always go jump into their car and they go places. But I always took a walk, and I think the the walk helps me connect with myself, with the nature. I look at the birds, I look at the sky, I look at the trees. I go down on my knee, and I smell the grass, and I feel so happy, and that helps me connect with myself, because I'm like, a little leaf. I'm unique. There is no other leaf like me, and I have a limited time on this planet. I'm green right now, and when I'm going to be in my autumn years, which I thought they are soon, but actually I'm getting younger now, so I feel that I'm green, green, green. Then I'm going to have my last dance, because leaves, when they leave the tree, they valse all the way to the ground, and then I'll become part of the ground where I'm coming from. So I don't know if this makes too much sense to too many people, but the relationship with yourself is the one relationship you have to treasure if you want anything else. If you want to have a great relationship with your family, with your children, with your friends, with total strangers, that includes yourself. And that goes the same for goals that people are setting. For example, financial goals. So if you want money, you have to love money. You can't just say, I don't care about money, because then money won't care about you. You can't just say, oh, I want money, because then money will feel the pressure and go away from you. So there is a philosophy about being yourself at all times, being authentic, not trying to become somebody else for the sake of others, not trying to impress anyone. And recently, somebody said to me, somebody I never met, and I really wanted to help, but just happened that I had to change plans and I couldn't interview them. So they had a really nasty, send me really nasty messages. And I said, look, and they would keep saying, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. I said, well, I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to be myself. And if this means I cannot make a commitment to you or to anyone else, means I'm making myself available to the universe. So when the universe wants me for something greater than life, I'm available. I can't pin myself down to a time that was made 2 weeks ago or 3 months ago, when I supposed to interview you, and you are going to sell. You don't even have a story. You are not the kind of person who wants to share something. You just want to sell your product, and then make me feel bad because I did not deliver for you. I'm only delivering for myself. So whatever it is that is available and I have to give, I give. If it's not available, I can't give. So I'm not here to impress anyone, and I never be, I will never will. So I only have to stay true to myself. I have to embrace my truth, and I have to endorse my own vision. I don't expect anyone to serve my purpose, to deliver my vision, because they won't even understand what your vision is about, because a vision is in your mind. So unless you deliver that vision into a reality, your own reality, and then you invite other people into your own reality, how they're going to ever experience that? And I really think that the key to everything you want to be, everything you want to have, everything everywhere you want to be in this lifetime and create a legacy is the experience, making yourself available to better experiences, because so often you realize that actually everything everything you experienced defines the way you think, and the standards of your thinking determine the standards of your life. It's very simple. So when you make yourself available to better experiences, when you make yourself available to better emotions, then you start looking at yourself in a different way. You start looking at yourself thinking, blimey, I can do this, I can be this. So it is not necessarily a key to success, because success is your birthright, but there is a key to your message. And unless you deliver your message, you will never experience your purpose. So we organize these red carpet events, daytime red carpet events, middle of the week red carpet events, because you don't need to be a celebrity to go to a weekend late night red carpet event. You could be you, just be you, put yourself together, get yourself the best, in the best version of yourself. Love yourself, treat yourself with a gala of stardust. Come along, walk on the red carpet, share your stardust, allow other people to see you. We'll photograph you, we'll have a crew of people filming you, we'll feature you in the Sovereign global magazine for heart-centered entrepreneurs, and all cost you the same as you would pay for a movie, except that when you go to a movie, you go and witness somebody else's movie. When you come to make the news gala events, gala evenings, you become the producer of your own movie. And when you go home, guess what? You are going to see what I see when I look at you. You are going to see your celebrity photo shooting all over the place, internet, media, offline, online. And you are going to have a lot of people telling you, wow, you look amazing, because you do. But unless you allow us to take you on a journey and discover who you truly are, how on earth I'm going to help you? I can't. So my commitment and the key to my whole life is to help you understand your true worth. And S stands for Stardust. And I started with from success to significance, because people make big sacrifices in their life, and all they want is to make a significant difference. It just sometimes doesn't go according to plan. So it doesn't matter your good intentions, you are still going to hell. So making the significant difference you want to make is not about money. It is nothing to do with money, actually. I know when I'm asking people what they want, first first reaction is, I want money. I know they don't mean that. I know they mean, I want to make so much money that the more I give and the more I help people, I still have some left for myself. And I know what they mean. They want to make a significant difference. But to make a significant difference have to be sustainable. You can't just make a significant difference right now, today, sell your house and help everyone, and then what? The people we helped, they are not going to benefit from it, because it's just money you gave them. But if you take the horse to the water and help them drink, show them how to drink, is a very different story. It's a very different proposition. So bringing the horse to the river is one of my goals, because there is a river of abundance and greatness and beauty, and is so much. And life is not. It's so much to give, and life is not what you think it is. Life is not a standard template, and at the age of 20 you are going to leave home, at the age of 30 you are going to have 2 kids, at the age of 40 you are going to become bankrupt. It's not that. So life is what you make of it, and life is like a river. There are rocks you have to navigate through, and there is so much going on, and you are always aware that anything can happen. But when you think of your end in mind, the goal of your life, the purpose of your life, what do I want to leave behind me, what do I want to have in this lifetime, then it's very simple. All you have to do is to remind yourself, I am Stardust, because you are Stardust, and it's a scientific fact. And if you ask yourself where I'm going, then it's very clearly, it's only one answer: I'm going to deliver my Stardust.
I have to remind myself that I need to interview rather than just listen. I love. I was just enjoying that a bit too much. I love what you said about the movie, and I remember what we were told about what you shared with us. You can watch the movie, you can be in the movie, or you can direct the movie. And I like that about the Radio Works platform, is that you do create a plug in and play where people can come along. It doesn't matter what you know, what you feel you don't know, just come as you are and just plug in. And I can stand testimony to this, because I came along and I was interviewed by you on the radio. Then I remember coming along to the Authors Award, and then myself and children were awarded this amazing award, which I was really shocked about. But I think around all of this, and I think it's all very beautiful, one thing I can say about the whole transition from start, and we're in the middle and it seems like it's just exploding. I won't even say at the end, we're kind of just starting, and I'm just going, this is really explosive. Not because of all, yes, the interviews are amazing, not just because of standing on the stage, not just because of the awards, but there's something special about you and Dari, who we've got to know. There's something unique about the system, the way you understand how to get people to see themselves. Because I think when I came along, I've done things in my past, and I was pretty much about, right now, I've got so much going on. I just want to get my kids doing what they're doing, because their diary is more busy, is much more busy than myself. And you just said to me, give me a date. And I looked at you and I'm going, sorry. And you're just saying, give me a date, give me a date and make it happen. And I think it's these magical moments, how you're able to tap in, how you've just randomly come up with the right questions to ask to get me to go, the right conversations that we've had. And I've just gone, wow, I've come from going, I don't think this can happen because I've got 5 kids, there's so much going on. How am I going to make me step forward right now? And you just kept on saying what you say to everybody, but in a different way. And I think that's what's really beautiful about what you do, is that whenever I communicate with you, be that via telecommunication, via text message, I feel like I'm the only person. It feels like I'm the only person at that given moment. And I think I've said this to you on a couple of occasions. Do you remember, Marina? That
actually, you are the one and only. So let's get that straight. There is nobody like you, and will never be again in 1 million years, in 2 million years. So that's a fact. So as long as you take responsibility for that, everything happens. And it happens within a sequence of you could call it miracles, but actually the miracle you've been waiting for is you. You are the miracle. You just allow yourself to become, to grow your wings, to see yourself in a different light than before.
Absolutely.
Instead of thinking that, because I remember when we met and you were looking at the stage, almost like nostalgic, and I'm thinking, here, you are an amazing speaker. You have an amazing story. You are you are the kindest person I ever met. Aww. And yet you are not on stage. So I'm thinking, let's put this right, because this is wrong. And when people come along and we drag them on stage, how they feel a bit perhaps intimidated, not intimidated, but they feel, well, I don't have a story, because I used to think the same. I used to think that I don't have a story. So if you just allow yourself to share your struggles, your truth, you know, don't try to be somebody else, because it's impossible to be somebody else. So why go through that through that terrible punishment of becoming somebody you are not? So when people look down on me, I'm grateful. Personally, I never look down on anyone unless I can lift them up.
Absolutely.
So I think it's very simply be kind to each other, because we are born humankind. And I think I have to mention this, even I don't like to quote anyone, and I have my own quotes, but there is one quote that stayed with me since last year in October when we met Forrest Willett. He said, humankind, be both. And it's that simple. You just need to remember, because I used to say, well, people have an excuse all the time saying I'm just human, but actually they forget they have to be kind. They could be kind. They are born kind. You know, I had my granddaughter the other day, yesterday with me, and last time she left some toys. And one of the toys, which was a little angel, dropped and got like a crack, you know, like a dent on the toy. So she picked it up yesterday, and she almost started crying, and she said, fix it. And she gave it to me to fix it. So you see, when you see a 20-old month girl, little girl, looking at a toy thinking it's real and it's live, that reminds me that actually everything is energy, everything. And our busy lives, our goals, whatever it is that we try to do this cover up about being kind, like I can't be kind because I have to look after myself. I can't be kind because I have to pay the mortgage. I can't be kind because I have to be ruthless to succeed. Otherwise, they will eat me alive. They're all non-valid excuses.
Yes.
Because everything is energy. Absolutely everything is energy. And right now, it's all I have, being here with you. And I'm so grateful for this, because you remember we've been on the phone many times, not many times, but every time we've been on the phone, we spoke the same way. We weren't having a different conversation. No. We speak the same. Doesn't matter it's offline or online. And this is why most people who want to talk to me, I'm telling them, look, come to our next gala evening.
Yes.
Be interviewed, share your story. I cannot have private conversations with you about you because I feel I'm betraying you. You need to come and share your Stardust. And if you think you don't have Stardust, I can prove it to you. It's all there. You just need to open it and let it fly. Let it go to the person who are looking for you. Because there is somebody right now who is waiting for you. Right now. Right now is somebody who is desperately looking for you. And I used this example before. I feel that each one of us is that Greek soldier 2,000 years ago who was wounded, badly wounded after the Battle of the Marathons, running to Athens to deliver the good news. So he delivered the good news and said, the war is over. And I'm delivering the good news. And I'm telling you, the war is over. The war you had on yourself, belittling yourself, bullying yourself, unloving yourself, disrespecting yourself. It's over. It's time for you to embrace yourself, to love yourself, to cherish yourself, to be your best friend, to be your best teacher, to be your inner teacher. Because time is running out. And everybody who is waiting for somebody else or for a miracle, actually, they are the miracle already.
Wow. Wow, Marina, I love that, and it's so true for me, because like I said, I'm very early on in this transition, and I just say to people, just come along. It's not about us just having these private conversations. This is the first event I've ever been to where you feel celebrated and supported. And I'm not disregarding that you can go place and have the shift, but it's an experiential thing that people need to have, is that when they come along, the evening is about them and they go away with their own little movie. And I really like the way you encapsulated that. I think I would like to ask you, Marina, you know, when you was a child, what was your dream? You know, what you're doing now is amazing. You've become a catalyst platform for so many. But what was your dream before you became an adult? What did you used to do?
When I was a child, I was writing poems before I went to school. And I remember that my parents gave me a bicycle to spend more time outdoors because I was always reading. And I'm very grateful that my brother was quite lazy and he was older than me. So I had to learn, write and read before going to school to do his homework, because otherwise my father would be very bad, you know, and will punish him. So I couldn't take that. So I was doing his homework and how I learned to write and read. And then I remember that there were lots of competitions, and I don't know why, but I felt that because I'm representing other people, I have to win, and I work really hard. You know how other kids, they go through life so easy because it's easy for them. They're so smart and they're so beautiful and they're so talented. And I had none of it. I had to work hard for everything. But I always won because I thought winning this is not about me, it's about the people in my classroom or in my county or in my country, whoever I was representing at the time. So competition was a way of life. It was a very competitive world, but not against others. It was against my own limitations. And I remember this competition they sent me to. I had to be in a competition. I think it was something to do with maths or something. And somehow I ended up in the wrong room. So they gave me a brush and blank canvas. And then they said, start now. So I started painting. You know, I just didn't know why I was there. I think I was just 8 years. I think I was about Paulo's age. So I had no one to ask. Everybody was painting, and there were people like hundreds of kids, right? Yeah. So I started painting, and I won the competition. So what I done in that painting, it was I used lots of dots because I wasn't sure what to do. So I started putting dots on the blank canvas. So so I end up with this I think it was a planet. It was planet Earth, I think.
Wow.
I'm not quite sure what I had in mind, but and then around that, so the painting became quite famous at the time. So there were lots of kids, but they weren't like kids, they were like dots. I can't explain. Anyway, so
you were painting Stardust in a sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh
the more I think back, you know, I never thought about this, but the more I think back now, I remember because I used all the colors, and it was almost like not making sense. But then when they said stop now, the painting was there, was ready, and it was like an explosion of beauty. So there were kids who were going through all the, you know, like the best schools of art and all of that. So I wasn't. I was just a random kid, which I ended up in a wrong classroom. So everybody was asking me how I done it, what I was thinking. I remember that they even interviewed me, and I thought, I said, I just put the color on paper. Just put the color on the blank canvas, and since then, I still think that no matter where you are in the world, what set of circumstances you are in, each day it's a blank canvas.
Absolutely.
And you choose the colors. There is nobody who can change that. And I wake up in the morning, and I'm going to be 56 this summer. And you know what? I feel like I'm 16. I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking, blimey, this is an amazing day. Look at the sky, it's cloudy. Oh, I love it, you know? So I feel like dancing, and I feel that I'm so grateful. I can't tell you how grateful I am for every single given day. And yes, sometimes it's tough. So yes, sometimes I feel absolutely exhausted. I put my head on the pillow if I make it to the bed, and I sleep like a log. So what? It's the kind of exhaustion that makes me happy.
Yes.
and I think everything makes me happy. It just sometimes I feel that I'm not giving enough. I feel that I'm blocking myself from giving more, because this giving is not necessarily exhausting myself. It's allowing myself to see how much I have, how abundant I am, how many resources are inside me, and I don't need anything else. I have it all.
Yeah. You always refer to that, and if I say I'm going through stuff, you say you're just going through an upgrade, and I really like that when you said that to me, because it makes you have a different perspective on what you're encountering. Do you know what I really liked what you just said, Marina, about you being in the wrong room, so to speak, but then you created magic, and I think you've just taken a perfect way of describing what I was trying to say, what happened when I came along to you. Because when you asked me for a date, see, my vision, part of my vision was always about working with women. I've always loved to work with families, but I thought, oh, not now, later on down the line, wait for my kids to grow up. So had you not have asked me for that date, had I not have been in the room, and it was just, everything was wrong. It felt like the wrong time. It felt like everything was not in the right place for me at that moment to do what I needed to do. But had you not asked me that day, we would not have put on that event, Dreaming Big Together. And that was such an emotional moment for me, because the room was filled with adults and children sharing their journey. And the magic of that was just breathtaking. So it's quite interesting how sometimes we might find ourselves at a certain time in our lives, like be that a crossroad, whatever people tend to term it as, whoever's listening, but we might feel we're in the wrong room. And for me, if someone asked me, what do you do? I would say I'm a coach for women. I would have never thought that I would put together a package, and definitely not now, for children. I raise my kids the way I do, in a sense, without being consciously aware of it. And people have said, oh, teach me. And I've gone, wow, and then you asked me for that date, that kind of pushed me to pursue this. And now, obviously, it brings us to the big moment that people are now realizing that we're going around the world in 80 days. And it just kind of like a vortex took me back to childhood, going, wait a minute, I grew up watching that, Phileas Fogg, around the world in 80 days. And then yourself and Dari sitting down with me and saying, we're going to go around the world and share this message. And this is what I love about your platform, that, you don't kind of share everything. Like if someone came along, and I think if you had written all this down on a bit of paper, it still would have been amazing. But I think what I like about you is you're so spontaneous. You are so creative. You know when to say and what to say at the right time. And I love that kind of mysterious side of you. And I'm urging, and I'm going to share this with people, like I said, because I want people to come and experience their magic. It's about time that they go to events, not other people's events, not other people's movies. We don't need to just watch other people's movies. We don't just need to buy into other people's dreams. And it's okay to co-create. But what about your own dream? Marina's talking to us about us taking a step forward, about you sharing your Stardust. So on the 28th of this month, we're having another Dreaming Big Together, and it's an opportunity for you to come along and meet Marina and her team. And this is not the only event that Marina does. There is a Radio Works website. Marina, could you share that with the listeners? So, because
people... So you see, I never been with one man for one night. I never experienced a one night stand. And this applies to everything. So if I start cooking something that I have to do it many, many, many times. So even pancakes, even you name it, any kind of food, I'll make it many, many times till I get it to be and make me feel like a masterpiece. So it's the same with these red carpet experiences. So you can't just go to one red carpet experience and I've done that. No, that's just the beginning. So when you come along, you are going to an event, you pay for the ticket, or it's free event, whatever it is, you are expecting people who go on stage to entertain you. On the contrary, when we invite you to make the news, or our Stardust Awards or Authors Awards, whatever we are doing, the red carpet experience, we will drag you and make you walk the talk on the red carpet. You'll go on stage and you'll speak up. You'll become your best spokesperson. But it doesn't happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in one day. So what I'm saying is that the series of red carpet events you are having, Sabrina, now make the news dream big around the world. So you have once a month now. In October, when you leave London on the 2nd of October, you'll have them in different countries. And you are helping others to start their own Stardust Hub, sharing their own good news. Because I see myself as the good news channel. This is what I see in myself. So many people look at me and they think, oh, she's an author, or she's this or that. Whatever they think of me, I really don't care. I know I am the good news channel, and that's contagious. You see? So your series of red carpet events, doesn't matter, they're 3 hours. Actually, there are more, because people come for 3 hours and they don't want to go home. It's midnight.
That was a good problem to have. Yeah, it was amazing.
So it's also like we think, oh, we're going to have 30 people, and actually have 100
Oh,
people.
wow. Yeah, there were people didn't have tables, they were resting on the wall. It was amazing. Obviously, we got them comfortable afterwards, but it was amazing.
You know, so we are welcoming everybody, absolutely each one of our listeners who is ready to dare to share their Stardust. Because you have to feel ready. You have to feel that you are worth it. Because when you go to other people's events, you go there and then you go home empty-handed. I done that myself. I was so hungry. I thought must be more. I thought must be more. So I was, at the time, I think, when I wrote book number 32, I realized that actually is walk the talk. Unless you walk the talk, unless you craft your message, unless you share your message, there is no need to write a book. Literally, I'm not Shakespeare. I don't think any of us can be, but you have a story, and that story is unique to you. That message is yours only. Unless you bring it out, no one will benefit, not even you. So for me, this broadcasting series of red carpet experiences and interviews are all about sharing each other's Stardust. Because right now you are sharing my Stardust, but other people in our community, in our Stardust family, are sharing your Stardust. And it's contagious. It's like going around and round and round. I don't know. I used to say, I don't know where we are going, but now I know we are going around the world. So
Yeah.
you want to go around the world, if you think, or you don't think you have a story, you could still come join us around the world. And yes, 80 days, let's see what happens afterwards. I know another the Stardust book, which is now is Stardust around the world in 80 days with Ben Salmi family, which is going to contain 365 stories of amazing big dreamers, professional dreamers. Is just the beginning of another book series. And I was talking with the Big Dream family the other day with your children, and we were thinking to do Stardust in China, Stardust, all the amazing people, all the amazing stories around the world. We could create another book series about these people you are going to meet. And it's almost like becoming limitless and realizing that the more you give, the more you have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so taken aback. It's still like we was filming with you and Dari the other day, and it's slowly starting to become real, because the kids are in shock, I'm in shock. It's just like, wow, is this really happening? And the truth is, it is. And for anyone that's listening, it doesn't have to be perfect. It really has to be a case of you just being willing to get out of your own way and take the first step. That's all I did. I have a lot of trust in Marina, and I had a lot of trust in Cheryl. And I was like, what am I doing? I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but each time an opportunity presented, I just said yes. Each time I was guided in a certain direction, I said, I'll be there. And we have messaged each other, I think it was like 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning, be here in the next, it was like 8 hours or so. And I was like, I'm going to be there, because there's something about what you're doing that I really believe in. And I believe that the people around me, I really want you to tap into this, not for me, not for Marina, but for you and for the people that you want to touch. There is a system here. It's a very magical system, and it has a way of assisting each of us to get our message out there. Like I said, I had no intention of putting together a program for families, not right now, but literally hours before I went to my first event with Marina, we put together a family program. So we've got our own UBS now. We've got steps how people can go ahead and achieve the same things that my children have achieved. And it's just unfathomable. I wasn't even thinking in that direction, but that's all I've always wanted to do, because a lot of the work I do, I have to be away from my family. Like, I've got a secondary school that I set up with some friends. There's various projects that I work on, but this project is so near and dear to me, because one of the biggest things for me is family. Without family, it doesn't mean that it has to be your biological family. You know, I refer to a lot of people as my spiritual family, and I feel like I have integrated into this Stardust family. The support I get is, I couldn't put into words. The support, the encouragement, the inspiration, that, and the love and the welcoming that I get from all different members of the Stardust family. So, you know, why not just try it out for yourself? Let yourself have the experience and see where it takes you. You know, if you wasn't scared to dream, how big would you dream? And this is a platform that could really help you to dream big. My mindset is expanded as a result of being on this platform tenfold, because the things that we were in the process of raising money for Bali for my daughter's scholarship, and then it was like world trip, and I'm going, wow, I wasn't thinking like that. So we thought we was going to one country this year, but now we're actually going to 10, maybe even more than that. And so sometimes we get in our own way by putting limits. But I think, for the purpose of this interview, I would love Marina to be the one to leave you with the message, because there's something about Marina's love for words. She has a good way of communicating that message for you. And anyone, when you're listening to this message, go inwards, connect with who you are and what it is that you want to share with the world. And I'm not talking about the things that you've been doing. I'm not talking about the things that you've been open to talking to people about. I'm talking about the innermost depths part of yourself, those areas that you've not actually spoken about, those dreams that you thought, I don't want to dream right now, because I was once there. I was thinking, I've got these big dreams, and right now I'm just so busy doing so many things, I couldn't possibly do it now. You know, maybe now is your chance. Actually, not maybe. I believe that this is a platform that can really make those things happen. So over to you, Marina. I know that you've got some other things to do after this, so we're going to be finishing up in a few minutes at 3:30. So please, Marina, if you can share with the listeners what it is you want to share, please.
You see, I have it in my heart, and it's been there for a very, very long time. I look at people and I see beauty in them, and each person I meet is another chance, when I meet a total stranger, to discover myself. And in all honesty, it's not only about the people I interview or about the people I connect with. They are total strangers, but they give me the chance to discover who I am, because I've been a stranger to myself almost all my life. So I know that because of the crashing demands made on you, because of the terrible times you are living, it's uncertainty, there is economical unrest, political, I don't know, everything is almost like collapsing. But you have to remember one thing, that you could do one thing right now. You cannot change the leaders. They've been elected. You cannot change their policies. They are going to deliver those regardless you want it or not. But just remember that you could lead your life. You could lead your life in a way that makes you congruent with your emotions first. So if you think that it's enough to align your actions and your beliefs and your values, I'm telling you now, it's not enough. The Stardust movement is about sharing this emotional intelligence and taking the emotional intelligence to the next level. It is almost like together we evolve into the creatures who we are designed to be, and we've been hiding behind commitments or stereotypes or other people's expectations of you. So now is the time to take that leap of faith. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, or nobody else does. So if you don't have anyone else to believe in you, take me. I believe in you. Take Sabrina. She believes in you. Before we met you, because once we've been those people who had no one else to believe in us, and we had to fight a big chain of struggles, and we had to crawl to get to a point where we could stand up and walk tall. From both of us, until next time, remember, you are Stardust.
Stardust, yeah. And Marina, could you actually share the details of the event on the 2nd of October? Sorry, just before you go. Yes. And you've got some awards for a person of significance, as I want to have this on here so I can share with people.
Yes. So So on the 2nd of October last year, we had our first awards in London, Radio Awards Awards, and we awarded radio presenters from 26 countries. And we had to turn down 107 people because we had only 120 seats. So I realized that this is bigger than I thought. I realized that this passion of mine is spreading and is so beautiful, and people coming, they were just magnificent. So they're big dreamers, they are visionary, they are authors, they are people who are helping others, they are people who could actually share a story about growing their own wings. And I thought, okay, 2017 is going to be a bigger event. It's going to be a room with our roof. It's going to be a place where we could have 1,500 people coming at least, and we could see what's happening next. So this year, the 2nd of October is just the beginning of the journey. For 2 days, we'll be in London while you and your children, Sabrina, you are going around the world. We are saying goodbye to you before you go, but then we start sharing each other's stardust, and we have 250 awards to hand over to 250 people of significance. It's a massive manifestation of love, of greatness, of beauty, and intelligence. So it's not only for authors, it's not only for people who think that people of significance, but for all the people who don't even realize who they are, or people who care about others, put others first, and they don't understand how much good they bring into the world. They don't realize that they are changing people's lives. So if you know somebody who did something that changed your life or helped somebody else, please connect with us and tell us, and vote, nominate this person. We can't know everyone. It's impossible. We need you to contribute, to be part of it. So of course you can't nominate yourself. A couple of people asked me, can I nominate myself? Of course not, because it's about other people. It's not about you and me. It's about the people we can help together. Yes. So the Stardust Awards is going to be in London for 2 days. Start like celebrities midday at 12 o'clock and perhaps we end before midnight. And we'll have a fabulous time. We'll walk on the red carpet. We'll have media coming. We'll have television coming. We have people from lots of countries coming, joining this amazing emotional intelligence evolution. Because together we travel far.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Marina. I'm just taken back. It's an absolute honour to be able to be a part of this Stardust family, to interview you. And I just look forward to our relationship unfolding as we go on. Each time I speak, like I said, it feels like I get to know a different part of you. And I just thank you for believing in me and believing in others. And I also thank you, kind of woman that goes out the else, and know that we always need someone to lean on. And I just, I just would love to know what we can do to support you with your vision. And if there's any listeners that want to contribute in any way, is that okay for them to kind of get in touch with yourself or Dari?
Yeah, so only one thing actually. You have to remember that the world is not enough without you. You have to remember that all the time. You can't fade away, you can't doubt yourself. There are luxuries you can't afford. So you have to step forward, join the madness. It's a lot of stardust to be shared. It's a lot of glitter, a lot of glamour, a lot of feel-good experiences and amazing emotions. Love is the number one emotion that we share. And I'm not talking about loving only other people, loving yourself as well. So if you want to learn to love others, start with yourself. If you want to be kind to others, start with yourself. Everything happens in your heart. Everything happens in your mind. Connect the two. Make them work as one and see what happens next. It is not about me. It's not about you. You are Stardust.
You are Stardust, Marina. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.